you heard a story and you don't know if it's true or not. I have like a little anecdote about that. So I recently went on a trip with my father. Love my dad, great guy.
Ooh, trauma
just
incoming.
like to have some space. No trauma, not this time, just drama. And so we're staying with my godparents, and he's telling this story, and it becomes apparent that my godmother has a problem with Asian people. But, like, I don't know what it is, like, what the problem is. Like, so I confronted her about it because, like, we were watching a football game on TV or whatever, and she's like, why are there Asian people there? And I was like, because they're at a football game? Like, I don't understand the question. Like, what? I was like, why does it matter? She's like, well, I don't actually care. I was like, then why would you ask something like that? It's just a weird thing to say.
Well, I think she has a point specifically with football because are there any Asian football players?
Polynesian. And there's a kicker.
that's
Yeah,
a
the
good
Falcons have a Korean kicker.
Yeah, it's really fucked up to say Asian and just assume like east to landmass Asian, right? Like,
I think it's fucked up to
Pretty
notice
large.
that they're Asian and then ask why they're somewhere.
it's not that I think it's okay. I'm trying to understand her.
Why is there a Muslim at the airport? What are they doing here? Oh, Allah Akbar? Oh, Durka blow up the airport? I don't think so. No, anyway. So then my dad is like telling this story. Like they're just telling. They're just like later at night. They're just everybody's telling crazy stories, and I'm keeping my mouth shut because the last thing my dad said was that the fire in Maui didn't burn anything blue.
Oh yeah.
What does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything.
It means they were using like refracted
Yep.
light from a satellite or something to make the fire.
New Age
right?
weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, New Age weapon.
I don't know if it was Jewish
for
space
some-
laser per se, but it's
Right.
definitely like.
And for some reason, the United States government was like the first place that we should, instead of like Haiti or the Dominican
Moscow.
Republic or Cuba, which we've hated forever, or North Korea, let's burn Maui. Let's burn Oprah's house.
It's been everyone's favorite place to go spend money.
Let's burn white people heaven. Let's do that.
Literally.
And anyway, so then he's telling a story about it. He's like, my dad grew up in Los Angeles. And he's like, yeah, when I was growing up in Southern California, my friend's brother was in the LAPD. And, you know, everybody out there that has half a brain cell knows that when someone starts a story with my friend's friend's brother, then you think, oh, this is bullshit. It's a stupid story. It's a fun anecdote. You don't listen to it, but you listen to the story. Because we tell each other bullshit stories all the time. You know, a tapeworm eating a steak. But so he goes,
They're hungry.
they're talking about Vietnamese immigrants during the Vietnam War. So this is, you know, the 70s. And my dad is saying that his friend's brother, who's in the LAPD, was telling them that Vietnamese people dig a hole in the living room to shit in. And that's what they do in Vietnam. And now my first thought was, if you're I don't believe that for a second, even in Vietnam, because I'm serious. Even if they lived in a hut, if they were farmers, they just go out in the woods.
Yeah,
Why would they go in
yeah.
the middle of their house? That doesn't make any sense. And
People
they're
have
not
known for thousands of years not to shit in their house.
Yeah, and number
We only started doing it again recently. with
right
The whole plumbing thing.
And
yeah.
number two, Dad, if you believe that, then you believe those are the people that beat you in a war. So there's that. Anyway, so he's like
That's
talking
just
about how
facts.
they went to these people's house for some reason, and these Vietnamese immigrants, and that they had dug a hole in the ground and they were shitting in it. And I was like, Dad, they had a bathroom. Like, they're not. You're just like assuming that these people are so that they buy a house in fucking Los Angeles in 1973. And they dig a hole
With the bathroom in
with
it.
a fucking maybe two,
Shag carpet bathroom.
right, and a backyard
Hello.
maybe. And then there's choice number two, and they dug a fucking hole in the floor. And he gets mad at me for asking, and so he continues his story. And then, without skipping a beat, he's telling my godparents this. He goes, and the craziest thing, houses in Los Angeles, especially during this time, it's a concrete foundation. So they dug through concrete, and I was like, okay. Where did they go to the bathroom while they were digging the concrete hole? And did they go rent like some sort of jackhammer, or did they chisel it by hand? They dug a hole in the concrete to shit in the floor.
Well, in his defense, we know Vietnamese people are very good at digging holes. So this is known.
Aurora, do you think that they did it?
You know, the source was your father, so he knows best.
According to what metric?
I feel like again, that is so much work to have to go through the concrete to dig that hole. I don't think that was happening, but to put that image in my head was really enjoyable.
Yes, thank you.
They're
for
wearing
that. I
the
also
fucking
appreciate
rice
it.
patty hats, and they're in their
Right.
and they go. That's a coincidence. And then
It's a
they
noise.
literally stop to take a shit in the toilet, and then they come back out to continue chiseling through concrete so they can eventually reach their goal that they've always wanted, which is to shit in their floor in the living room. And then at the end of the day, they go to bed, they wake up, they make a cup of coffee, they go to their fucking normal job with bathrooms and normal people, and then they go home and they shit in the floor. They hold it all day.
Yep. Because they just can't stand the whole shitting in a chair.
Unsanitary.
Yeah.
Disgusting. I'm going to put my butt cheeks on something that other people put their butt cheeks on. No, thanks. I'd rather shit in a hole in the floor.
Look at my retarded neck. Fourth ward ENT just gave me your retarded check. Retarded offset, retarded.